You should do a video on sexless marriages. I know many men whose wives that do not want to have sex with them anymore or use it as manipulation. I actually have a video coming out about that. Okay. I have a video that I actually recorded today, pre-recorded. I talked about the 6 reasons why men are rationalizing out of marriage. And one of those is due to a sexless marriage. Yeah. Combo today. Okay. Pre-recorded combo today. Patreon is going to see it soon. The rest are going to see it at a later date. You understand me? But we got to be able to talk about shit like that because it's true. Men that are in long-term relationships have a lot more and better sex than married men. That sexless marriage shit, especially too, because like, what age on average do women experience menopause and their libido goes basement level? Men don't experience that. Yeah, there's an erectile dysfunction that might happen at a certain age, but there's medication for that. Okay. What's interesting in the video that I'm doing when I'm thinking about that is I look at graphs of between the decade age brackets in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, in the rate of cheating. And the men's rate of cheating at 40s, 50s, and 60s goes exponentially through the roof. And that's them admitting the cheating. Goes exponentially through the roof. I think a lot of it has to do with a woman's libido. A lot of it has to do with menopause, okay? Because they're not getting satisfied, because it is a sexless marriage, they step outside of that. So that's actually something we all have to talk about as well. Shout out to Dead Yet Alive. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Let me go back down to the bottom of the chat. Next to the stage! Next to the stage! Jafrequa. How are you, mama?
Hi.
How are you? First time into the
I'm doing good. Are you? Yes. I was wondering when you were.
You said what? Did we just lose her? We just lost her. We just lost her. All right. There it is. Next to the stage! Jafrequa, get back in here. I'm going to put my StreamYard link. That's down in there. Go ahead. Click on that shit after you restart your bullshit. Okay. Enough of the Cricket Wireless. Enough of the U.S. Virgin Wireless. Okay. Get your internets together. Okay. Get your internets together. Oh, wait. She's back. Hey.
Sorry. I got so excited. I clicked off by accident.
Oh, was that an accident? Where are you from?
I'm from Jamaica.
Jamaica. What part of Jamaica are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Jamaica. Portmore. That's in St. Catherine, not too far from the capital. That's Kingston.
Got it. Okay. I've been down to the tourist areas, Montego Bay.
Yeah, I remember your story where you brought the girl and it was a nightmare. I remember.
Oh,
I remember that story.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember that story.
That shit was
I don't even remember what I was trying to say because it took so long. But about my friend that a lot of people were saying it's not real. It was very much real. I didn't mean to bash him or anything. I was just giving a real life example of what happened. And I really did tell him to subscribe to your channel. You know, I was trying to shed some light on it, but I realized that information like this, you just either discover it or you don't. And it's the same thing with femininity. Because when I try to share the information with my female friends, they're not having it. They're just stuck on the niggas ain't shit and I'm independent and I don't need a man. I used to be like that until I discovered the information. I was like, wow.
Wait, until you discovered what? I missed it.
Until I discovered that I was the problem. You know, I was the problem and I did a lot of stupidness in my past relationship that I shouldn't have because I was so focused on being the man and not playing my part as a woman and allowing the man to be a man. You know, and I had to say, you know what? I had to take accountability and it really did hurt. But I had to take accountability and say, you know what? I was a part of the problem. Or if not, I took 95% of the blame as to why everything went downhill.
Jamaica.
Please, not all Jamaican women think like this. I can tell you they are very much like African American women. They're very much like them.
You know what? I would not agree with you before this conversation. My experiences with island island
Mm-hmm.
women has been a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
Island women,
Really?
I think, have much more traditional goals and ideologies. From my experiences, from my experience,
Well, as a woman who lives down here, it's more of the prior generation because I can tell you that my parents have been married for 28, almost 29 years. My mother was a virgin when she met my dad. She was the first one, and they planned their children. And through their marriage, the older folk and stuff like my grandma and my aunts, when I look at their marriages and relationships, I never understood the things that they did because I was like, why the hell are you doing this? I remember one time my mom told me to go, she wanted me to assist with some chores. And I was like, why don't you ever ask daddy to do this? And I almost got hit with a pot. She was like, don't you ever. And I'm like, what the hell? I was very upset. And it was when I got older, I realized, what? There's nothing wrong with me doing chores because I am the woman. If you go out into the streets of Jamaica now, and you speak to the woman, they'll tell you that, yes, I keep the house clean and so forth, but the man needs to help me. You understand? I'm not your maid and I'm not doing all these things for you. That's half of the population. And then the other half, they demand on cohabitating with men, cooking for the man, cleaning for the man, proving that they're wife material. I, for one, don't believe in cohabitation. And it was when I got older, I started to appreciate the traditional values that I grew up with, but I did not appreciate because I was influenced by outside ideas. Because, as I said, I was independent. I didn't need a man. I was very masculine to the point where if you try to open the door for me, I'm like, listen, I can open the door myself. It was that bad. And I had to
let me
really look
let
into
me.
myself.
I want to go through a quick uh, check. I want to go through a quick checklist, okay? Because it seems as though
Mm-hmm.
it seems as though and also too your audio is it's a little bit muffled, so you were talking really fast, try
Oh,
to
it
slow
is?
down your words a little bit and then talk a little bit.
Okay.
That's just the only comment I'm seeing in the channel. It's kind of hard for me to hear as well. You're very fast talker. Just real quick, I want to do like a before and a, okay, because
Mm-hmm.
it seems as though you identified that there was ideas within yourself that had masculine traits. What you said was
Mm-hmm.
one of the examples is walking in through a door. You're not going to allow someone to be able to open the thing because you're big, strong. You're well within
Mm-hmm.
your feminism rights, right? Because you're strong enough to
Mm-hmm.
open up the door. So you're not gonna allow a dude to be able to do that. Let me,
Mm-hmm.
so like what is the difference? And then also what has changed? Like, was it looking at femininity YouTube channel? Was it looking at red pill masculine YouTube channel? Like what are the
It
differences
was both.
between masculine? What are the difference between masculine Jafriqua and feminine Jafriqua, and what allowed you to realize the problem?
Well, I've been single for 2.5 years, and about a year and a half in, I was wondering why I wasn't able to be happy in relationships or why I couldn't find, that nowadays women we say we want traditional men, but my behavior was repelling masculine men. I was wondering why. And sometime about last year, some time ago, I discovered the femininity channels. And like any other masculine woman, when I discovered the channels, I was pissed because it was going against everything that I was currently doing. But by the third day, I was like, you know what? These things, they tend to make sense. And with me binge watching, because I listen to Chloe and I watch her in a reaction videos about her. And while watching her, I ended up venturing into the masculine side of YouTube so I could understand men and how they view. I know I can't understand men fully as a woman, but I learned to appreciate the masculinity and the traditional sense in the side of men. The first red pill channel that I came across was Entrepreneurs in Cars, and that guy was hardcore. And
Yeah.
his first video was about hypergamy, and even though I was offended, I continued to listen. And I said, you know what? I'm going to listen with an open mind. And I realized that these were the leadership type men that I said that I wanted. They reminded me of my father. And I didn't realize that in order for me to attract these type of men, I would have to reform and change, become feminine, and change my ways. And you ask the difference between masculine Jafrika and feminine Jafrika.
Yeah.
Masculine Jafrika was a tomboy, in and out. So she wore sneakers. You understand? She would curse. You get me? She would let me say no, hang out with, she wasn't promiscuous, but she encouraged her friends to do promiscuous things. You understand? And I was
Yeah.
all for it. I did not care. I'm independent. The feminine Jafrika, she had to cut ties with those friends. She's soft spoken. She doesn't curse anymore. She uh cleaned up her, I already said I don't curse anymore. She cleaned up her image. So I learned how to take care of my natural hair. I started wearing dresses more. I started to appreciate masculine men. I allowed them to lead. Now I don't submit to strangers on the road, but now I can appreciate the fact that wives are supposed to submit to their husbands, let them lead, and it's more than just who I want to provide and a protector. And I've learned that when going into a relationship, even though I won't submit to the boyfriend or the crush, I have to first give him some respect, because submission is literally just the matter of respect. If I don't respect him, I'll never be able to submit to him if it is that man becomes my husband. And I've had to cut ties with a lot of people because they don't recognize who I am anymore. And when I look back at myself, I don't recognize who I was before, because the masculine Jafrika, she had a lot of piercings too. I didn't have any tattoos, and I had to remove all of them and realize, you know what, inside and out, I was repelling the type of men that I claimed that I wanted, and I was of the
Jamaica,
mindset that,
Jamaica.
you're gonna stop doing that.
Hold up. Hold up. That sound comes from your island. That sound. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, bop, bop. Hold on. Jafriqua.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, girl. What on, soldier. Hold on, soldier. Okay, listen. Let me ask you another. Let me ask you another question. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 22.
Oh, she's young. Let me ask you another question. Let me ask you another question. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
think that you settled into your masculine early on in life?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out, because, as I said,
Did,
that's not what I saw in my household. It was external factors. Because my mom is a pastor, and my parents, I grew up in the church and everything, and they were very strict. So when I was a teenager, they wouldn't allow me to socialize at the same effect like other teenagers would go out. I couldn't go to the movies, I couldn't hang out.
did you
And
have
so I
both
started to
parents?
repeat.
Did you have both parents?
Yes, I was born in wedlock, and they're still married. I grew up with both of them, and they're still married.
Okay.
And I started to sneak out just to be, I just wanted to socialize, but I snuck out and I got rebellious, and I did everything that I wanted to do. And then when I got to 18, I was like, okay, so this is not fun anymore. Because 18, when I got the freedom to do what I wanted to do, I didn't want to do those things anymore. It was more of a calling to my parents, like, look, I'm
Here,
not this. You,
here's the thing, Jafriqua. The
mm-hmm,
reason why I'm interrogating you the way that I currently am right now is because you're right. We just learned your age is 22, right? And one
mm-hmm,
of the questions that I ask on the channel from time to time is like, how can we help instill these ideals earlier on in life, right? Like, because so many find it out when the wall is closing, and your wall is not closing because you're 22. You're right in the prime in your life, right? Because I think like
mm-hmm,
the more that understand these ideas that have been pressured onto you guys, as far as the benefits of masculinity without the
mm-hmm,
accountability, right? Like ideas like that, where you don't feel comfortable if someone is going to hold the door open for you, or you don't feel
mm-hmm,
comfortable if a man is trying to provide for you. And I don't need no man, I can do all my da 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 da. Like all of these things that like in that need and that, right? Like as long as you do that in a high integrity way, a man finds extremely attractive. Like
Mm-hmm.
what is it that, like, and that's the reason why I asked you the question of like what is it that you came into that even in a two-parent household, you know, as a way to try to extract a way that we can try to solution for that problem. Like I understand to a degree, it's not your job or my job to be able to solve a whole unit, like a whole gender. But I think to a degree, strong leadership leads to strong action amongst those that are forming ideas of how it is that they're supposed to be dating, what it is that they're supposed to be bringing to the table. Any comment
Mm-hmm.
on that?
I mean, I don't think I have a full comment for you because there are a lot of factors why women head down the wrong road. The mine was just rebellion. The others, we have not just in America, but in Jamaica, we have a lot of people growing up without fathers too. So you have the women seeing their mothers as strong black women and they want to emulate that. They grow up with this hatred for men. And then you have the media, which we like to talk about so much. You see in movies. I realize that there's a lot of movies with people getting divorced, or if they're so-called happily married, the wife is loud, she's boisterous, she bosses the husband around, and that's what they want to be like. But I really do not have a set answer for you. As I said, I think this information is just something. If you discover it, good for you. If you don't, you're just the bad batch. Like I can't, because this information, I know for sure that I'm going to pass this on to my daughter, and I want to get married, and hopefully my husband will be able to pass down his legacy of masculinity to my son, and I will also be telling them the secrets in regards to women. Hopefully they don't turn into hoes, but I'm gonna tell them stay clear from these women that claim they are independent and they don't need a man. Because one thing I had to learn is men are not attracted to women that don't need them. It makes no freaking sense. I like feeding the masculine ego. I like to need things. I like to want. Men like to provide and give. It could be something as simple as, asking a guy to take something off the top shelf. Or I realize that guys are problem solvers. And I think I made a comment on one of your videos in terms of, I think it was communication. And you said something about when a woman is talking to you and and if it's not something that you can fix, you're like, well, why am I listening to this? And that literally like changed my life. So,
Oh,
so you know what? I have to change how I communicate with the opposite sex. And I think I made a comment about it, and a guy was bashing
oh,
me, saying
I
that if
remember
I
that
just,
comment because you said in
yes,
that comment like, "Yo, MTR just phrased it in a way that I have not heard it
yeah,
before."
I never heard it like that before
I
because I
remember
always
that.
wondered, mm-hmm,
Yeah. Oh, that was you. Okay, I remember that comment. I remember reading that comment like, "Wow, I made an impact on one." So,
you
um,
have. I mean,
li-
I listen to a lot of masculinity channels, so I can understand. I don't want to say understand men, so I can appreciate them more instead of going on this hate train.
okay, okay. Well, I appreciate that I had a degree of an impact, and like, listen, off of the things that you've heard from me, off the things you hear from a couple of other red pill content creators, and the things that you hear from because I think that there's good femininity hypergamous content creators as well. I think
Yes.
their ideas might be different than mine, but they can hit it from a women's perspective. I may not agree in totality, but there's some of them those out
I
there
don't agree in
that do
totality
positively.
either. I take some things and use it to better myself. I don't agree with everything. I think some of the things are, what's the right word I'm looking for? They're more of a fantasy. I mean, it sounds good to hear, but in real life, we know those things are not going to happen. All right.
Well, yeah,
So,
they have a there's a lot of negative femininity content creators as well. So I would stay clear of a couple of those as well.
mm-hmm,
Listen, Jafriqua, I've had you on here for a long time, and I want to respect your time. However,
mm-hmm.
I have another Jamaican bad man back here waiting.
Yeah, I see him.
And I want to be able to
Bring
pull
him
him
in.
up real quick. Okay, I want to be able to pull him up in a way that makes the most sense. I don't know, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think down into the chat right now? I'm like, God damn, I might need to go down to Jamaica, Jamaica. All right. Now I went to Montego Bay / Ochos Rios. I may need to go to the grill. All right. I
They're
mean,
two
go to
different places. Negril is very close to Ocho Rios. Montego Bay is in a completely different parish.
completely different. And that's what I know. And I know, like, from the airport, it's like a 3-4 hour drive. So I was like, oh,
Yes.
I'd rather go to Montego Bay and Ochos Rios. And I went down there and hated the person that I went down there with. So I didn't have a good time. I go back down in there. You understand me?
Jesus.
Listen, stay on real quick, Jafrico. I'm gonna respect your time, but at the same time, I gotta bring. Hopefully, he fixed his mic. Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully, he fixed his mic. Come on, though.
Yo. Oh, you can hear me now. All right, good.
Listen to the flavor of the accents. Okay.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different. I'm from Mandeville. She's from Portmore. You say?
Yeah, I come from Portmore.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Me come from Portmore. Me come from Mandeville. More fire. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yo, listen, you know what's the funny shit is that, like, when I went to Jamaica, what fucking year? It was like 2012. So listen, like 10 years ago, like yeah. So I'm from New York originally. Like, we got so many West Indians in New York. Like, you know, most cities in New York don't have a reggae station. New York obviously has reggae station. So like New York has been up on West Indian music for a minute because of the population of West Indians within New York. You understand what I'm saying? But like at the same time, there was an explosion back in like the mid 2000s. You understand what I'm saying? Of music and the dances and So anyway, I want to bring y'all together. Okay.
Yeah.
Now listen, Ken.
Yeah.
Based off of what Jafriqua was talking about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what she was talking about, how do you feel based off of it? Also living in the same civilization as she.
Let me tell you, what she's saying is 100% facts because I've talked to girls who were like the whole Jafrika. So yo, hearing her say that is something very refreshing. By the way, I like your growth, Jafrika. I'm gonna commend you on that. Continue your journey, all right? But yeah, it's true. I also grew up I had both my parents growing up, right? And I see where my dad worked, my mom took care of the household, and they worked like a team. Even when they didn't like each other, they worked like a team. Even when my mom cussed about, oh, sorry, I'm getting into my accent because of Jafrika. Even when they would argue, even when they would argue about things like managing the household, at the end of the day, they respected each other. Right, and what she's saying is very true. There's a lot of girls here who are listening to the Cardi B's and what's your name, Megan Thee Stallion.
Meg the Stallion.
Yeah, that one. And not that there's nothing wrong if you dabble a little bit, but there's some girls who follow them hard that feel truly inspired by them, which is very concerning sometimes. Because there's a lot of women here because they grew up in single parents homes, like she has said, or they grew up in a home where the mother took care of almost everything. She's the one working, she's the one holding on the household. And believe it or not, that's also the problem with our young men as well.
I was about to say that because based on my experience, when I date guys who don't know their father, the relationship is completely different. I've had two relationships. The past one that I messed up, and then a prior relationship. Those are my two best relationships, long term, very healthy, and both of them were born in wedlock. And when I took a look at that, I was like, wow. And I said, I'm not going to, really judge, but I took a vow that I will never date a guy who does not know his father or was raised without a father, because those men tend to be surrogate husbands for their moms. When you look at it, because everybody knows a Jamaican man loves his mom. But it's this debate as to should I put my mom over my girlfriend or my girlfriend over my mom? And then you have the mothers now jumping in. I know this one girl specifically, she had a boyfriend and he didn't know his father. And the boyfriend would take her out, treat her very nice, and she and the mom caught up because the mom was upset that her son was bringing his girlfriend out, carrying her out on dates and so forth. She was very upset that he was not doing those things for her as his mom. And in Jamaica, if it is that you put your girlfriend over
Friend
your mom or
over your
tend
mother.
to, if it appears that you're treating your girlfriend better than your mother, you're shunned for it very badly.
Yep, yep. There's literally
That is a
songs,
part of
both.
the culture.
There's literally songs that do that, and also.
Hey, guys, listen real quick. I
Mhm.
listen while Jafrika, I want you to stay just real quick. Cam, I want to put you on the spot real quick.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
And I want you to try to answer. I'm going to try to get you guys back on track. Okay, to the content of the video. All right.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
Cam, I want you to describe how you think 52-year-old Kem's life will look like.
I always think 52-year-old life, Kim's life would look like. It's basically, I've done the music thing, take substantial amount of money from that, invested them into other areas, teaching my young son or daughter to be upstanding men and women in society, like doing the best that I can, because they will go through that rebellious phase. I did go through that rebellious phase, but usually, um, there's a saying they say in Jamaica. My father says it so much times. Oh my God, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. He will stray from it, but then he'll see that what you do and what you taught him made sense. And something I've noticed from my parents is this: they led by example. Because you can talk all you want, but if you ain't walking the talk, it's pointless.
Uh Shout out to Malcolm, Rand nephew. Listen, when I went just real quick, I'm gonna respond to you real quick, my G. Rand nephew
Yeah,
fucked me up. Okay, when I was down in down in Jamaica, that shit is
yeah.
that shit is potent as fuck. It's not as crazy as Bacardi like 151, but I want to say it's like, oh God, what percentage is Rand?
That's because rare rum is overproof rum, so it's
Yeah,
strong.
It's
It's supposed
it's
over.
to,
very
you're
strong.
supposed to
It's
taste it.
it's
Yeah,
overproof. Anyway,
yeah.
just real quick, bro. So within that being said, I heard kids within that.
Mhm.
Is marriage in that?
I used to want to, believe it or not, I used to want to get married, but no, I just want a chick who is on a mission, the same mission as I am. I may, it's like a very small no, may consider marriage, but after learning what I learned, because I don't think Jafrika even knows our laws when it comes to I learned it in a barbershop, believe it or not. Even if you're common law, if you reach 5 years of living together, even if you're
Okay,
not
but that's
married,
the Jamaica now. We know this, but it's a situation where it's you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
damned if
Because
you
if you're in a
don't.
relationship with a woman for at least 5 years, the
Mm.
marriage laws apply to her, so she's still entitled to
To
50%
have,
of your
yeah, shit.
assets.
And you can't, and there's no prenup. There is no prenup. So people joke about it
Yeah,
that,
that don't
but
work in Jamaica. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah,
So
but that's why a lot of people tend to get married in America and then come and live in Jamaica as a married couple because in America, honestly, a lot of people, was especially women, attacked me for this, and I said if I were a man, I
mhm.
don't think I'd want to get married under American law because it really
Hell
is in
no.
favor of the women. And when I
Yeah.
look at it, I'm like, how are you doing this to somebody who you said you were married to? I had to ask the question if 50% of marriages are ending in divorce, and of
Hmm.
that 50%, 70 to 80% of the divorces are filed by women. Do you guys want
Yeah.
to be married or not? And then when
Exactly.
you look at the reason, it's financial. It's not because oh the guy cheated. It's more I don't want to be married to him anymore. I don't love him anymore. Why are you guys leaving? And then before the marriage, you demand that he marries you because time is running out and your clock is ticking. I
Yeah.
mean, I know I'm only 22, and
Hmm.
I say this and people look at me weird. I said I wish I was married right now because as soon